Hello, hello, testing. Alright guys, so if you tuned in last night, I messed up. I added a team twice. I'm not sure how they snuck in there and did that, but just for shits and giggles, I'm going to start this over again. Again, I'm going to go through the settings real quick. I am using the La Prince sliders. Let me give him full credit here because I had it somewhere. Oh gosh. La Promise Prince sliders, okay. I can go over them, but usually I'll just put them in a video. Somebody else has basically covered them fully, but 8-team season. It's the lowest you can go is 10 games. It looks like it splits it into like 2 sub-conferences. 4 teams make the playoffs here, so of course I'm going to be using the pro set rules, all type pro. I wish it would get rid of that stupid Christmas ball. We're using pro everything here. I am going to change the play clock to 20 seconds. Actually, I can't go lower than 20, it looks like. Okay, so that's all fine. We're going to be playing 6-minute quarters with accelerated clock on. I'm going to turn the player weekly upgrade thing to automatic just so I'm not messing with anything and all the rest of the league can do their own thing. That's fine with me. So let's go through the teams here quickly. Alright, sweet. So it looks like I just want to double check I don't have any duplicates in here. Very fun, sweet, great, amazing, awesome. Okay, so I did go through this discussion last night before I uploaded and started streaming, so I guess I'll just cover it again quick because that last video, I don't want to say it's redundant, but there's not many changes I made, but most of the teams here are going to be somewhere in that 80 to 84, 85 overall. This team's an 87, specifically mostly because of the defense. But I've just created the Middletown Jobcats. They are essentially the jobbers of this. They're a very high determination team, so I turned a ton of those guys up into the 80s and 90s to see if it does anything. The Berserks are a pretty well-rounded team. They are solid offensively. Shane Falco has come out of retirement to lead these guys this season. The Killers are essentially a lower tier team, but they have a couple guys on this team. I think I made a dude with like maximum juke and agility at running back, and they have a quarterback that's essentially like a Cam Newton, Michael Vick, thoroughbred scrambler with a okay arm. The Mammoths are just solid all around. Solid offense, solid defense. I think these guys are built to run the ball. I think I put their offensive line, like, really establish the run type. But they're not as good in the pass blocking. Doomlords are a very zone-heavy team, so their defensive backs are, you know, a little better in zone, less in man, but again, stable, average team. The Gold Tigers and the Dark Tigers I made sort of like different in the sense that one is an offensive team and one is a defensive team. So this is a team with a solid, you know, QB, average run game, pretty solid O-line. This team is the elite of defense, multiple 90 overall players on the defense. The Blizzards I created as to be broken on offense. For some reason they only have an 83, but they have a maxed out quarterback essentially that's like a 90 something. He's a absolute monster of a player, and I hate to go through this discussion with all these players again, but at the same time, if you're watching this and trying to understand what's going on, that's essentially what's happening. So I'm just going to go with the Bobcats here. Whatever, we're not sinking. That's totally fine, whatever. So we have 88 players. So all the teams look like they're going to have to cut down players, which is, I guess, fine or whatever. I don't know. How do I sort? I forgot to tell you guys too. These the Bobcats or the Jobcats here have elite special teams, and they also have a running back that is basically Chris Johnson. So we'll see how that works out for them. But we have to trim the roster down here a tad. So I'm just gonna go through position by position and start cutting players, I guess. So we'll get rid of center, a bunch of basic bitch corners on the team. We'll get rid of that guy. We'll get rid of that guy. Bunch of defensive ends. Holy shit. 2 of them. But they only have 780 defensive tackles. Bunch of middle linebackers here. We'll get rid of that guy, and we can go then and start simulating through the preseason. Now I hate to redo all this again, so whatever. So in the franchise, it's actually really interesting because they make you trim the roster down to basically get to a 53-man roster. It's just awesome. And of course, now I have to trim, I have to go down to the 53. So we only got to keep the essential personnel here. That guy. That guy. How many offensive guards we need? Sheesh. Let's get rid of that dude. And I gotta really cut down here. Holy moly. I'll get rid of these decent linebackers. Punters are good. We have 700 quarterbacks on the team. Get rid of Tommy Sold, the face of the oh my god, I forgot their name. This player essentially is there to tank. Bunch of running backs. How many of those guys we need? Receiving core. Let's get rid of some of these 75s. Good grief. We gotta get down a couple more players here for the Jobcats. Do that running back. Do that running back. These are still. Guess we don't need all these outside linebackers. I guess what leaves us with 2. I don't know. I'm really getting down to the nitty gritty here. You're gone. You're making too much money, and you're out of here. So, there we did. We did it. Okay, let's play the week. Simulate that. So, great. Guys are getting upgraded. Amazing. Alright, so we're at the regular season now. You have a... Whatever, that's fine. I think I didn't want to do too bad here with the I wanted to trim the roster down because the Berserks, when I did this yesterday, I trimmed them down too far, and I accidentally gave them 1 quarterback, and essentially it ruined the game for them, except for their receiver came in and threw for like 400 yards, which I don't even understand how that's possible. So it has the Gold Tigers as the #1 team for some reason. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but let's just see who's our best matchup here. We did the Blizzard and Berserks yesterday, so we're not going to watch them play again. Maybe we'll watch the let's do the Killers and the Doom Lords. Doom Lords are more of a power team. The Killers are like a spread team here, so we'll see how these two teams kind of measure up to one another here. As soon as I can get through all 900 cutscenes, let's go to the depth charts here and just take a peek at these guys. So maybe the Doom Lords have a shitty quarterback. So Tommy Scrambles, he's the quarterback here. We have the hell did they cut my guy? I don't know. Maybe they got rid of him. You have a couple of decent receivers on this team. A lot of speed, that's for sure. Let's go back. These guys have a pretty big physical receiver on the edge, Eric Hill. He's going to be one to watch. So we'll jump into it here. Nice little pooch kick there. Nice truck stick by the return man. So this is a power offense. A lot of full house with a lot of tight ends on the field for the Doom Lords. Doesn't matter because the Killers are over and interesting. I forget how trash I made the Killers on, or the River, I guess they're called here. I must have not changed their nickname or something. Another thing you'll notice too, there's going to be a lot more sacks, a lot more quarterback pressures because a ton of the offensive linemen in this game have been toned down. It's too many of these 95-plus run and pass block guys all over the place. So, and he just dropped it. What a clown.
Fourth down.
I'm really curious to see the Killers Rivers quarterback in action here. It's weird it makes them do that little hesitation after the punt. You know, I don't know why they wouldn't want to patch that quickly, but here we are. Scrambles. It's the first play of the season.
Incomplete pass.
I did notice yesterday with the change to the roster overalls and things, like editing the players, and with this the game's on gridiron difficulty, of course, with the slider set changed, getting a much more balanced football. I know that score yesterday was kind of out of control, but I just feel like it's giving me better results to an extent, which is kind of like why I'm pushing this whole ratings system change. I would love to see them run a patch where sort of like they go through and maybe refresh all of the rosters, whether that be Dynasty or franchise, and sort of go through and fix it so that like there are far less of these absolute elite players on both sides of the ball, which makes it more important in franchise to go through and, you know, trade for those kind of guys or draft heavier.
Number 19 with the catch on the play. Tackle made by number 93 on the defense. First down.
Oh, that was a first down. Okay.
Yards gained on the run. Number 16 with the tackle. First down. Cover. Incomplete pass by QB number 17. Second down. 1 yard gained on the run by number.
Also noticed too that there's far less
Short by number
these
13.
huge runs with stiff arms and spins and just going back and forth trading blows in the run game. Say that post was wide open.
Touchdown throw by quarterback number 70. Number 41 made the catch.
It's got to be one of the better passers we have here in the game at this point. It looks like receiving core is not that great, but it's got a tight end here that's kind of pretty solid. Glad the game knows about my body fat percentages on some of the players. Pretty good center there to kind of like anchor things. So let's take a look at the Doom Lords up front. Pretty solid offensive line. Defensive line's okay. No real standouts here. Got a really good outside linebacker there. Their secondary, like I said, I made them more specific to be like zone centric, corners and things. So I'm pretty sure I gave them the 4-3 zone defense, but I don't know how much of that actually is zone or what dictates the decision making for the AI in this game from a play calling standpoint. It could just be it goes into a randomizer and just picks something without logic really telling it what to do. There's still, oh no, ton of these fumbles on these kickoffs, man. But there's still a ton of sets in this game where I think the logic gets confused. So like gun H slot, the AI recognizes that as like a full-on spread formation when it's actually like a heavy run set. So they're coming out in 3 safeties with like 3 down linemen, and they just, oh no. Sheesh. What a bounce back by the Doom Lords there. But it's just like some of the logic is just confused as far as like what they should be lining up in. Just for example, now I'm playing a ton of college football, and I'm not saying that game is great or anything by any means, but the AI does a much better job just understanding. Ooh, what a fucking play there. The AI makes it difficult to trickle down the field. I played a game earlier against like, I can't remember who it was, if it's Illinois or who it was, but I won the game 14-9. I scored 14 points in the first half, and I basically barely could get the ball down the field the second half. And it was just like they adapted enough to me to kind of take away my strengths. So one thing I'm noticing too in these games is these quarterbacks aren't targeting their elite receivers that I've created them. So the Doom Lords have a guy I basically created. He's like a big possession catch type receiver. I was hoping to see him go and win some 50-50 balls, but I don't even know if he got a target. So like last night when I was playing with the Blizzard, they have 2 receivers that are like 90+ overalls, and I don't even know if between the 2 of them if they even got a single target. The one guy on the team, I just called him, and he's basically supposed to be just uncoverable, but didn't even register a stat, I don't think. I'd like to see the safety come make a play there, but he was just kind of trotting. I don't know what the hell is going on. He walks like he has a shitty diaper on.
First down.
I also created that the job cats essentially just 2 job for everybody in the league. If I'm not getting results from some of these teams, the job cats will definitely get you a W that week. They're supposed to be the team that you want on the schedule. Like, if you need to turn your season around and get some momentum, if you have the job cats, that should happen for you. A lot of little screen plays here.
Number 19 with the catch on the play.
I'm also curious to see too the way I made a lot of these quarterbacks. I wanted to make like 1 or 2 of them really terrible, and then a couple of mid-pack guys, and then like 1 elite superstar quarterback to kind of like lead the way, and just see if this game really depends on having like an elite talent.
Stop short
Now,
by number 55.
in like most other football games, you would have a few guys that are in like 32 team league, or like even like in college football, you have a
And
couple of those like
second down.
90 rated players that are super duper elite guys that you dread. Like I have to play UCLA this week, and that oh,
Number
what's his face?
63 with the
Their
sack on the
quarterback's
play.
like a 96 overall or something like that in our second season of the dynasty. So he's going to be an absolute nightmare to play against, just because he gets, he's accurate. He doesn't turn the ball over. He knows how to get out of the pocket and stuff. I would like to see something like that happen here in this game, where
With the catch on the play.
the better quarterback can put his team in better situations to win the game, instead of constantly checking the ball down and throwing it to not his superstar players. I might look at a couple of these plays too. Like here's a set. Sorry, I'm choking to death. Here's a set that isn't three safeties deep down the field type. I don't know how they get into that or why, and then they still get gashed with this throw.
Catch made by number 31.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
By number 25.
And the AI can't dive, so he has to get right on that guy's ass and run behind him like the robots.
Catch was made by number 83. That's one catch for him today. Number second down.
All right, let's go get one.
I do like to see the AI audible and change positioning and do that kind of stuff as well. It's almost like makes you think you're playing with strategy here. So seeing that AI collapse on this, the River run I don't know what they're called, the River Killers, whatever. They are running a 3-4 defense. So I tried to keep it. Oh my word!
Number 80 with the catch on the play.
What just fucking happened on that play? I tried to keep it so that like half the league's running a 3-4 and half the league is running a 4-3. Just curious to see what happened on this play. Of course, I skipped ahead for a second. It's another one of these weird zone plays that doesn't make sense, that no one in a real football environment would ever call. Like, okay, pre-snap, let's just talk through this real quick because it pisses me off. You're either going to run a man, like a cover 0, cover whatever, but this player would have man coverage. So clearly this is some sort of zone. If it's cover 3, here's your buzz, your curl flat, here's your deep half, here's your deep middle. Say if it's cover 2, your flat, your deep half. What do these guys do? They do some sort of like rotation where the safety's coming up. This guy goes to the flat where there's no threat. He's drifting completely to the middle of the field, and they both basically converge on this one player. There's two wide open players here running. I just don't understand. Maybe they're bad safeties or something. I don't understand how the logic works. This actually, they came out in a goal line defense. I can barely believe it. Doomler just walked that in. They're built for that type of play. That actually looked like football. I'm so used to the AI coming out with like 3 safeties in goal line defense or red zone, or like they're in some weird 3 down lineman look. I can't believe they actually brought out a goal line formation. Honestly, I'm just absolutely shocked. Ugh. So far, it's a pretty even game. Doomlords are fighting off. They do have one fumble on one of their kick returns, and that instance right there just proves that this game is in desperate need of some sort of gang tackle system. My God, that would change this completely. Scrambles with a bad throw into traffic. Now, this guy does not have the most talented arm. He's like an 84 overall quarterback. He's got really good, some running abilities. His throw and run's pretty strong. What a play right there, my goodness.
With the catch on the play. Stopped short by number 53.
I wanted him to play sort of like a very annoying, like Michael Vick style quarterback. So you're going to see him drop back here, and I love how dynamic and muddy this pocket gets. He panics, but again, composured enough to be able to get that ball out there. Man, what a throw. But like I love the pocket formation here. This game does a really good job. And this is what I like about it more than college football. I feel like its offensive line and defensive line blocking is like far more dynamic, especially with like these type of little things happening. So 81 runs through this guy. I thought he hit him there and forced him to stumble. Maybe not. But good slide steps here. These two players get picked up. I think the quarterback was maybe pocket pressure was like rushing him through that throw motion or something. But with the 2-minute warning, so this is a pretty big drive here for the both teams actually. Another fucking screen. It's a first down. They also need to add a few more screen types instead of just those wide receiver screen, the wide receiver screen. But like, I'm talking about like that, I don't know what I'd even call it, like a just turn and look on the edge. There's no real variety. Like you can't run a screenplay to your running back. Or like you can't run anything that's like a tunnel screen or some sort of like a mid screen or anything with your tight ends or your running backs. It's simply set to the that one type of screenplay. Uh-oh, look at this. Doomlords are sticking to a ton of zone here, and they don't have a lot of depth on defense. That's their weakness, is their secondary, their back end. So there's going to be a glaring exploited player on the defense now. This game, I can't believe that actually worked. I can't believe they ran on 4th and 3rd and 5. This team is not built to do that, but it worked. I'm also thinking about doing this. So the problem with setting a franchise up right now in its current state is I edited all these teams and did all this work. And what's going to happen is the second there's a draft, it's going to completely break all of the teams. The drafting in this game, if anybody ever wants to test it for themselves, the draft classes consist of like several dozen players that are all 90 overalls. There's so many players in the draft with 99 speeds at all positions. Like, I think one year I drafted just from the draft class for the 1 year, 6 or 7 players with 99 speeds. And I think one of them was a defensive end, one was a center. I had multiple cornerbacks. Like, by year 3 of just simulating through seasons, and this is 32 teams, by the way, just like the default franchise teams. By my 3rd season, 17 players on my roster had 99 speed, which is like, you know, like, oh, what a play. We're talking, you're getting Xavier-worthy levels of speed at like 17, positions. So I just want to see this again. I can't believe that guy didn't make that play. How did he miss that there? He runs that out. First of all, he runs like an outside release, which for this type of route running was pretty cool. Did he just miss that, or what happened? Oh, it didn't even phase through him. It actually went around him. So 84 on the depth chart. Of course, I have to go out of the, the depth chart there and go back in. What is going on? I don't know. It's one of these guys, I'm assuming. I don't know why it doesn't show his, his number, but whatever. What a score right before halftime for the River. What a throw by that quarterback.
The point after attempt is good.
This would be a pretty big win to start the season for the River if they can hold off here. The Doom Lords haven't shown much explosiveness except for on that one play. But I guess we'll kind of see how that plays out here. They really got to start force-feeding this guy the ball, like, badly. I'm sick of watching these elite players just not get targets at all. It's very strange. Fullback dive. I guess they're just trying to get to halftime, but then why take the timeout? Also, I should have spent a little bit more time like customizing their jerseys and things. I wanted to kind of like personalize some of the players a little bit more, but after you spend, I mean, I would honestly say I probably spent at least somewhere in the realm of like 5 or so hours. This is just to do 8 teams. To edit every player on the roster, to take out all of the game-breaking weird stats that they had, unless it's something I wanted to put in personally. But if you're gonna run the ball on a fullback dive, why would you play action it here? Just insane. I wish. I mean, I'm not a programmer. I work in IT, but like I don't know anything about programming. That's all beyond me. I work with programmers, so changing logic in certain instances is something like I simply just don't know about. Can I look at stats? I can't even look at the individual statistics. I just wanted to look at some basic like stuff for the receivers, maybe at the end of the game. But yeah, like there's so many football level thinking choices in this game that I don't understand still. It's kind of confusing. Especially like the special teams, punting and punt return. It almost needs its own set of rules, completely separate from a lot of the logic that's already in the game. Like punting in this game is very much like a mob of people are just running a straight line at you, and you just have to like, you can cheese it if you're user controlling it, but like if you're also user controlling it, you have to take a better angle so that your mob of players that's running straight for where the ball is at that certain time can, get around it a little bit. There's just stuff like that, and I also have a lot of the same gripes with like EA games where it's like there's just some things with logic. Like in college football, there's a cheesy. It's not even a what a play. It's not even a tush push, but it's like a QB sneak where the QB just falls forward for like 2 yards, and you can't really do anything to stop it because they immediately just engage and go straight up into like a standing position. So the times I've stopped it or I've seen it stopped, like the AI defensive tackle just happens to like fall in front of where the quarterback's going, and there's enough of a physics engine that it keeps him from falling forward for the first down, which almost looks realistic at times. Doomlords are sniffing them runs out now. This is where the Doomlords want to be. I think they're using a lot of zone finally, which this is again a team I've tuned to play good zone, except for on that play. My goodness. The River / Killers up 20-7 behind their quarterback scrambles. Look at the kicker right down the middle. Look at that. The only team I know that has elite special teams players right now is the Jobcats, because I personally made their punter and kicker have like 90 some kick power and cranked their accuracy way up.
Number 18 with the tackle.
The Doomlords are a team that's not built to play from behind like this and score points quickly. Now I'm going to say that, and this dude's going to just start dropping bombs. So this is an all-out blitz by the river. Oh, and he's sold. Oh, he's sold. I love it. You send an all-out pressure against a bad quarterback, and he panics and gets the ball out, and it's an interception. It's actually like, kind of like real football. Isn't that crazy? Let's see if 17 can start making some plays with his legs here. I really want to see him get out of the pocket, but he's playing with a lead now, so, ooh.
Number 55 with the tackle.
One thing that's really making me happy is running in this franchise looks to be you have to earn every yard. When I played my first time, when this first came out, I was playing with the Blizzards and essentially, oh no, back-to-back interceptions here, and he juked himself out of bounds. What a play by 46. I was playing with the Blizzards, and the games were like 40 to 50, and it was like 300-400 yards of offense, and it was mostly rushing. It was absolutely insane. I think I still have a couple of those games up, but the whole point of this was to tailor these games to basically stop that or give the defense a fucking fighting chance here so they didn't just get their guts pounded in by the offensive lines. Now, the Doomlords do have a pretty solid interior line. I think they're all 85-plus players. Good pocket, good ball. 31's getting upfield. Breaks a tackle. Spins near midfield. Now it's almost like when you see a broken tackle, it's exciting because you're like not expecting it to happen. It's almost like it brings like this joy out of you football-wise where it's just nice to see something out of the ordinary happen. Speaking of that play, also, I want to talk about that play action. That's another major detail that needs to kind of get better. Play action right now is very non-play action-y. It doesn't affect the defense. Like, I'd love to see the defense all take like a run step or two or something and then have to bail to get into their zone. Or like when you run play action, someone actually tackles the ball carrier instead of the ball carrier just flipping and going right into some sort of like weird block animation. Another heavy blitz. It's a shame they don't have an elite receiver on the edge that you could go to in those situations. I don't think he's targeted him one time. That is number 1, by the way, for the Doomlords. He's literally built to be a broken possession guy, and he just refuses to target that dude. That's a good read, but sent another pretty heavy blitz there, and the dude just stayed cool and calm and threw like a nice laser out of the backfield on like a levels concept. Play action. I almost thought he was going to number 1 there, but I'm crazy. That was like the same play to the other side.
Second down.
Please target number 1. Please target him.
4 yards gained on the run by number 24. Stopped short by number 28. Third down.
Get down. Set.
And the pick. Unfucking believable. That stupid screenplay got sniffed out finally. They tried to actually throw the screen to number 1 and they jumped it. They got 6 minutes and 3 timeouts. I mean, they'd have to have a couple of really big splash plays here and an immediate stop on defense to have a chance.
Number 16 with the tackle. First down.
Looks like the Doom Lords are switching to a little bit more zone or man coverage to try to get a little bit more aggressive here, but they're just hemorrhaging yards now in the run game. They're real happy for being down 14 with 5 minutes to go and the accelerated clock churning butter there. Some gun H slot there for everybody.
Number 8, tackled by number 55.
3 first downs all on the ground, man. The River/Killers are just running this down. Good shift by the D-line there to compensate for the overload. Sneaks through there. Not looking good. I think the Doom Lords are kind of in trouble here, and I don't know if they're going to be able to mount a comeback. I doubt they're going to throw the ball. I mean, the AI, if they just keep running it, which they should, there you go. Up the middle, good tackle.
Number 93 with the tackle.
Third down, and it's a big personnel set, and they're in like some. I mean, that's just the AI needs to be smarter. That or the devs, and I think this is another thing I'd like to see them do. There's a formation in the 4-3 playbook in college football, basically, where it's like a 4-6, I think it's called, where it's basically like a pretty stacked set to basically try to take the run away. I think this game needs something like a 4-4 or something like that to sort of help balance out some of these heavy run teams that you could also still run zone out of. So here they're really loading up. There you go. So the River looked pretty solid on both sides of the ball here, minus the quarterback with his bad interceptions. He also threw a couple pretty clutch throws. Didn't get a chance to use his feet a lot. There's the screen. I wish I could turn that play off because it's so annoying. And again, they're like in some sort of like dime package or something here. When you're playing with limited time and you need the ball back. I don't know. There's just something like where if the AI's down by like a certain amount of points with so much time left, they should definitely not come out in a dime package ever. And then now they're going to kneel it. And now they're going to take points if they can even hit this. Interesting week of football here to start off. The Killers are going to miss that. That sucks. So the Doom Lords are going to get the ball back. They don't have any timeouts, so I mean, at best, they might be able to go down and get like a touchdown or something if they can break a play here. But I think each week I'm going to play a game and just, there's a nice sack, forced him up into the pocket. I'm just going to play like which game I think is going to have like the best ability to show off some of the player ratings and things. The one game I definitely will be playing for sure that week if they play is the Gold and Dark Tigers, just because they're built to be opposites. So I guess we'll see. This was a game I wanted to watch because I wanted to see how this scrambling archetype build quarterback would do against a defense like this that plays a lot of zone. Kind of tore them up pretty good today. But the Doom Lords quarterback also, there he's hitting some throws. He threw 2 or 3 bad picks here in this game and basically took his team out of contention. So that was kind of the big difference here, is like the turnover battle. But this game turned out way better than the one I played last night, where it was, what was it, 63-13 or something like that. It is annoying though. The one thing that's really kind of making me salty is how little these teams are using their number one receivers. I mean, I'm making players for them to dominate the game, and they just are avoiding them at all costs, especially from a throwing perspective. Jeez, that's his third or fourth pick of the game.
Interception by number 26.
So the Doom Lords are only going to go as far as their quarterback takes them, and right now he is lighting it up for the other team. What a garbage player he is. But it's nice to finally see some bad quarterback play in this game, since I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback ever in maximum not have at least a like 87 overall. Even on my Blizzards team, when I was doing it before my franchise fucking broke,
Second down.
I had two quarterbacks, a 96 and a 94 overall in the same team. Imagine going to your bench and it's like, okay, yeah, Tom Brady, you can take a break here. We'll bring Peyton Manning in quick. That's fine. Oh, and our 86 overall quarterback, I don't know who that would be right now in today's NFL. Bo Nix, come on in, dude. You'll take us the rest of the way, right? That the river pulled off. Beautiful.
The final score is home team 7, away team 21.
Please give me some stats I can look at that are individual. There we go. Jeez, he threw 3 picks. How do I do this? Okay, so Daniel Payton, what a monster. Okay, so that, oh my god, navigating this shit is so insane. Okay, so receiving, their receiver didn't even have a single target. So, yeah, I'd be pissed if I was him. I just got, worked my whole off season to match up with a couple basic bitch corners just to, get avoided all game. Interesting. So, the other games are the Tigers, Mammoths. The Mammoths are another pretty stout team. We'll see who comes out here. Oh, the Berserks beat the Blizzards. Blizzards are the team with the 96 overall and 95 overall quarterback. Oh, Tigers. Dark Tiger. They better beat the Jobcats. So, gonna advance here. See what the Max Social's going. Dark Tigers hit with the injury bugs. Great. Last chance, big regrets. I'd like to talk about Brad Dorian and his team's preparation for the Blizzard. Did you know? Yeah. Canada Kevin. The Gold Tigers need to rely on wide receivers. So we got some injuries pouring in here. Hopefully our guys don't get hit with anything crazy. A lot to say about all these games except for the one we watched. That's kind of interesting. So right now standings, the old Jobcats down there at the old 0-1. Whoop. So yep, that's fine. We have the Dark Tigers and the Blizzard. Let's see, we have Doomlords, Gold Tigers, Mammoths, and Killers. Let's do this game. Fuck it. They're, boy, they really fell down whenever they had to cut players. So Dark Tigers are now down to a 77 overall on offense, which they are, I built them to be terrible on offense. The Storm have a 77 on offense. Alright, I don't know what's going on with these overalls, but let's see. Tell me it's raining, because if it is, I'm backing out. It is raining. I'm backing out. I'm not doing screen passes all game. Sorry, guys. So I'm just going to jump back into that one, and hopefully the weather fixes itself up. I'm not doing screen pass fest. Spectate. Yeah. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Let's get to the actual game here. Holy moly. So let's just go through the depth charts here. So we're going to look at Joe Tom Brandana, who is Joe Montana and Tom Brady combined. His halfback must be hurt or gone or dead. So John Him is actually healthy. And I actually had another stout receiver for these guys that just simply isn't there. I don't know where he went. The offensive line looks like it's either taken a beating or they had to cut a bunch of players or there's injuries. So let's look at the Dark Tigers here. We're going to go to their quarterback, Benny Scra. I don't even know where my guys went that I made. Half of them aren't even here. So just to show you what they're working with, their running back room is absolutely abysmal. I don't know where the other running backs went. Receivers aren't atrocious, but they're not great either. You go to the defensive right end. Myles Garrett. I might get hit with copyright here. This guy should be unblockable. They have a middle linebacker that's a 95, the machine. You have a free safety, that's a monster. You have two 90 rated. You have Gundam and Wing here. These guys work in tandem. They're a very good team. Let's take a peek quick at the Blizzard CB room. It's pretty much fucking horrible. It's atrocious at best. You have injuries, it looks like, across the board. 70s on defense. Can I get to the defensive tackle, please? All these guys are it's very mid. John Him is going to give these guys all they can handle today. We'll see if they actually use him. You know, not going to be fucking crazy. Basically, if the Dark Tigers quarterback doesn't destroy the game plan for them, they should be okay. So I'm excited to see these Dark Tigers take on the Storm team. Play one, check down, great.
Second down.
Ready? Go! Push him back.
Catch made by number 8. Number 41. With the tackle.
See if this quarterback can get them down the field.
Stay strong.
Can't even remember what I called him. Braid Anna or something. Just getting eaten alive. The D-line is, for the Dark Tigers, is pretty stout. Like I said, I think they have the best defensive player in the whole league playing for them at defensive end there. I basically made him to be unblockable.
Second down.
Another weird set by the Dark Tiger defense just because it's 5 wide. Screen pass, of course. What else would it be?
Catch made by number 19. Stop short by number 9. Third down.
They're getting big. This might not be a good idea against the Dark Tiger front 7. Might be the best in this game. Oh!
Pass by QB number 14.
Finally got a throw down field. Let's take a peek here quick at our matchup here. See him beating that guy immediately. I don't know why his gloves are off his body. Two players here. You see Gundam playing some lockdown defense. Wing must be covering him. What a fucking boot. So I did crank up a ton of the players' punting power and kicking power because it just seemed to be kind of not great. I don't know how to explain it. The Dark Tigers here essentially want to run the ball, and it looks like they're going to have some success today, which if they can run against you, you're probably going to lose the game with that defense. So the Tigers are just not a team that can throw. If they can, you also are in for a bad day. Fullback dive is stuffed.
Tackle made by number 55, third down.
3-2, I think. Some teams have access to that in some of these playbooks. Another run right up the gut.
Yards gained on the run.
Yeah, the Tigers aren't going to be airing this one out at all.
On the defense. First down.
And again, I don't get this 3 safety thing. I wish I could throw that play completely out of the playbooks, or put it into a logic stance where it can't happen unless it's like 15 yards to go or something like that. Like, no team ever runs just 3 safeties on the field just casually like this. So the Blizzard or the Storm use a 3-4 defense, if you can't tell.
1 yard gained on the run.
I can't remember which one of these teams, but I basically created a TJ Watt player on the edge for their outside linebacker group, just to see if there's much of a difference there. Tigers with, what is a 6-7 straight run plays,
With the tackle. Third down.
grinding the clock out. It's the best way to beat a team like the Storm, keep their explosive offense off the field. There's no way. Okay, there we go. Got to stop.
100 yard loss on the run.
Does it say a 100-yard loss on the run? Okay, now we're going for it on 4th down. Or were they just doing that to get the quarter over with? I don't know. I want to give the game credit that it would do that, but
The score is
okay, they're going for it. Gun H slot gang.
away team 0.
Oh, he's short.
Yards on the run.
What a stand.
On the defense.
See if the him can get involved on this drive. What a bullet down the middle of that Dark Tiger defense. It's kind of what I wanted to see out of these guys.
Down is good. First down. Tackle first down.
5 wide. Just gashing them. Just gashing them down the middle. Now I want to look at an interaction that took place there too.
Number 28 with the tackle.
And I don't know if this was supposed to happen, but this player here gets press coverage or something by this defensive end. Which I saw that happening, and I was like, I was anticipating there's something going on that didn't make sense to me there, but damn,
Number 38.
they are carving the Tigers up right now.
Made by number 2nd down.
Another screen.
Number 19 with the catch on the play. Stopped short by number 4, third down.
See if we're going to get our first touchdown of the game here. On the old pitch spam. What a play by 28, and he gets stiff-armed into oblivion. I thought he was going to make that tackle, my goodness. But he came flying through there. The Blizzards came in here and just set the tone right off the bat.
The point after attempt is good.
Oh, I'm so sick of that stupid Christmas ball. Get that out of the game as soon as possible so I can watch the pro ball get kicked.
Tackle made by number 57 on the
Alright, spread offense, Dark Tiger Gang. I don't know what this quarterback's going to do because this isn't one of the guys I edited or made, really, so this is a mystery man to me. I know the Dark Tigers do have an elite tight end that they could kind of spoon feed down the field here and try to keep this game close. Pulling guard, gets upfield, makes a block. This game kept rushing stats, my goodness. This 48 guy might be leading the league right now. They still have 3 timeouts, a 2-minute warning, so they do have a chance to get down here and get some points. And they just missed him in the hole. That drives me insane. Dude was dead to rights, and they just ran by him. 2 players. Looks like they spread their linebackers. Nice little check down throw there. So here's where the AI needs to shift its thinking into playing like a lot of like cover 2 or something like that that takes away a lot of the short throws. Looks like they're manned up here. Another screen pass. Hooray. Number 14 breaks a tackle. And he's in. We got a tie ball game here, possibly. He just yeets that fucker into the stands. I love that post-celebration thing where they just chuck the ball. I forget what Madden it was. Maybe it was 05. Had some of the better celebrations. They were so organic. And one of them I remember, when you scored, you would just throw the ball into the wall. Another one was if you got a sack, they would do push-ups. Just stupid stuff like that. So it just makes the game look real. Makes them look like human beings. I think if Max had more money, they could sink it to some of this like overall like gameplay presentation and stuff, just the stuff that takes place outside of the the play-to-play action, like pre-snap, just having some movement or some of these players look like they're communicating with one another, sort of like how Madden has adapted that. I'm not a big Madden fan at all. I actually fucking hate that game, but pre-snap, that game can blur the line sometimes about like how human beings interact. If you motion and stuff, players will point and sign to each other. Okay, number 8 is just trying to take over the game single-handedly, so are we going to try to get points here, or is it... What are we doing? Because you need to take a timeout soon. So they're going to throw a post right down the middle. Timeout, there it is. Okay, so the Dark Tigers took a timeout? Him currently with no catches. Jeez, all day in the pocket to the point where he took off running. And they're not going to get it. Oh my word. Why did they take a timeout? What is the AI doing here? You just don't do that. And they're not even going to take 3 points here. They're going for it. You have to score on this game, this play. And he took a sack. Just unreal. What an absolute meltdown by the offensive play calling here. That was just insane. So we had the defense taking timeouts to save the offense's drive, and then the offense not take points there. Just total nonsense. Again, I'm just thinking the logic still is, there's times where it's okay, and then there's times like that where it's just on full display. It's terrible.
Injury on the play. Number 28 with the tackle.
Come on, decide. Alright, well, it's been a pretty boring game so far. Not a lot of points, a lot of defense. Another screen, Jesus. I actually just quit the game because it was raining and I didn't want to see a bunch of screens. And that's most of what this game has been.
Second down.
Not a chance.
Yards on the run. Tackle made by number 57 on the defense.
If the Storm could get a stop here and score, they might be in good shape. But, like, the defense of the Tigers is so good. I can't imagine they're not going to be making plays at some point. Oh, and he just threw a laser beam that the guy volleyballed off his hands.
Fourth down.
That sucks. That's probably the only good pass that guy's going to throw all day, and they just absolutely sold that catch. All right, the best quarterback in the league now, Bradana or whatever I called him, Montana. It's just Tom Brady and Joe Montana combined is now going to get the ball. Number 8's having a good game, and he's probably hurt. Get out here! My knee!
On the defense. Second down.
The best receiver I created in the game right now is 0 targets. Ooh. Now he's hurt. Good God. It's an interesting run play, though. When these teams are stacking each other up like that and it's tough to run, some of the interactions turn out to be really well, like, done. Here we go. So we have a big set against the tight defensive formation. This is what I'm talking about. And it's a screen. Him finally gets his hands on the ball.
Catch made by number 10.
Him.
Number 10. Tackled by number 4.
Him is the type of receiver that if he doesn't get the targets enough, he goes to the sideline and TOs your quarterback. Just will not let him not hear about it. I want to see him get one downfield. They refuse to throw him the ball.
Number 31. That's one catch for him today. Second down.
So far, the Dark Tigers' defensive end has been quiet as well. He
Number 88. Tackled by number.
he is like a 96 overall, and I essentially made him unblockable. He hasn't really impacted anything today. Also, I'm pretty sure I saw what that encouragement was, and I'll show you guys what happened there. So you're like, oh, well, everybody's onside. What's happening here? This guy. This guy's just lined up at the 20-yard line. This is, how do I zoom in here? This is him. He's clearly protesting he's not getting enough touches, so he lined up down at the 20-yard line and then just started playing football.
Down.
52, get ready. Cover.
Just there it is.
By number 44 on the defense.
What a read. It's a sign there, Blizzards. How about we throw the ball to him? Okay? Love to see them just draw back and just give this guy a fucking chance. It's your play action. What a ball. And that weird stop glitch I've heard people talk about. I don't know what happens with that, but basically the AI just, like, for some reason, it just can't handle. I'm not exactly sure. Like, you'll see once the catch happens, he's just, like, broken. I don't understand it, but let's go take a look at our battle here real quick between Mr. Wing and him. I guess he's basically getting double covered here. 31 gets good back pedal. I mean, they're taking this guy away. They don't want to make him a threat, but of course, you know, getting scored on by some random guy, and they missed it. Just ridiculous. Let's see if the Tigers can mount a scoring drive here. Under center. I guess they're going to get to some power run game here, which is kind of smart, but throws it right into traffic. Not a great decision by a bad quarterback, so right now the better quarterback is winning. We'll see though if they can do something here. Defensive, just that. This play is in the playbook, and I got to show you guys this. I don't know what play this is where this happens. The no play design ever in the history of football has ever done this. Okay, are you ready? It's a power dive left where the guard is pulling out of the hole they're running into. Okay, what is this play? Because then 51 doesn't do anything. He didn't block anybody. So like this is like totally broken schematically. Whatever this play is, I don't know. 3rd and 12. You got a zone off here. They're going to rally and tackle. Yeah, just like I called it. Basically, they're just going to sit and let them get yards, but come up and make a play. 4th and inches. Yeah, it's pretty smart to go punt the ball here. So it's just weird. I've seen a couple other people talk about that play specifically, and I don't know where it's coming from, like what playbook that is. I forget. They have him back returning kicks now because he's probably bitching on the sideline and he's not getting the ball near enough. I wish the AI would just force the issue with some of these players. So 10 is in slot, him is in slot to the right. Oh, what a play by the Tiger defense.
Second down.
10 is in slot to the right again. There they targeted him, but he's basically they're just collapsing on the ball so fast, man. 3rd and 10. You really need to convert here if you want to put this game away soon. Same formation. What a fucking play by number 18. Absolutely insane effort and SWAT there. It's crazy watching defense be competent like this, man. The Tigers are really leaning on them today. It's a fair catch, right? Or he took it, okay. And the AI just freezes up there. I'm not sure why that happens on punt returns right now. Again, another thing they need to tweak. Good field position here, and you're going to have a blitz coming. Why can't I tell? Well, the safeties aren't back, so they're blitzing. Yep, here it comes into the screen pass, and number 14 is going to have another screen pass touchdown. Just unreal. It's so hard to stop screens in this game because of the block animations that you get trapped into. It's just, they're just too strong, and no one can get out of them.
The point after attack is good. Number 70, tackled by number 92.
Get ready. Get ready.
Loss of yards on the run. Number 88, tackled by number 18.
Sorry guys, I was refilling my drink. This undisclosed energy supplement is just hitting the spot right now. They're the official sponsor of my channel, but since they don't pay me, I don't remember their name.
Incomplete pass. End of the third quarter, third down.
Good little defensive battle going here. See if the bastardized stepson of Tom Brady and Joe Montana can bring them back and win the game. But a great throw there to get 0 yards. Awesome.
Fourth down.
And they punt. You have the best receiver in the league on your team, and you've targeted him one time on a screen pass and then threw him into a big bulk of traffic. The Dark Tigers are going to get a huge return here. Or he runs straight into all the action. I don't know. What do I know? Tigers need a couple first downs here, and this is probably a wrap. .48, who's having a monstrous day, by the way, is just killing these guys. My goodness. And what you're celebrating, dickhead.
Number 24, with the tackle. First down.
And here we are, 3 safeties. You know, we just need to get off the field here against the run game. 3 safeties on the field. Yeah.
Incomplete pass.
What the fuck that was. Holy moly. Great play calling because it stops the clock. There you go. You can stand up to that guy. Stuff him in the hole. Had some gun run defense this game at times. 3rd and 9 is where you want the Tigers. Put them in a throwing situation here. Or they're going to run it right up the gut and get stuffed. So they're just playing field position, it looks like. They're putting faith in their defense is going to basically come out there and win them the game. Did he get a good punt there? Him with the return. Breaks a tackle. And he's tackled about the 32. It's his most action he's getting all day is running their punt back. He's in the slot to the right. They're going to run it. Gonna run it. Look at that play. And he's run down by number 92, Myles Garrett. God, Garrett got driven off the ball, but his pursuit's pretty high, so they're in business. This is a winnable game now, especially if they can get in the field goal range. Another run play. Jeez. That, again, they're so close to having such great football gameplay. There, if that's like any sort of physics-based tackling system, or is there some sort of gang tackling mechanic that they can add in, that would look so good, but they just don't have it. Another screen pass. Just gets tossed like a little boy. If I could ban the screen pass from this franchise, I would at this point. God, I'm so sick of it. So this guy's doing his job. He's driving him down the field. The center resets. Him is in the slot again to the right. There's him. And Himothy with his first deep actual target of the game. They finally get him off the Gundam and Wing brothers. And there he goes down the field for a score. They're going to go for 2 here. So their field goal kicker's just absolutely atrocious. Look at that. Storm. Clutch. Now, can the worst quarterback in the league bring them back from the brink of a loss here? You have to score a touchdown and convert the extra point as well, since
Number 57.
no one seems to be able to do that this game. Three timeouts. Say if you get a, break a big run here or something like that. We'll see. Play action. And he throws the worst play action pass I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Second down.
Here we go.
Look at this dime. And they're at midfield with 1:40 left. 3 timeouts.
Number 34. With the
And they're in the hurry up. Look at this. Defense audibles there. Another just little easy route across the middle, and they take a timeout. So they are conserving some clock here. What a drive.
First down.
Get some gun H slot, I know, because I use this formation more than any other in the game. And he's got a pass. Oh my word! Didn't need to take a timeout there, but I at least respect the AI for doing it. They pick the blitz up, and he just stands in there and just delivered a strike. Nice jumping catch. Tigers have a chance here to tie the game up. And oh my god, I thought he threw that right to the defense. I was gonna say, what a drive to come down to that. He just throws it right to the defender. Oh gosh. Come out in a heavy set. Maybe they're gonna get physical and run the ball. And there it is. He sold, and that guy just exorcismed himself. What the? Oh my god. He did the Kazuya Mishima spin kick. I have to get a replay of that play. Oh. The Tigers drive that far down the field. There wasn't even a receiver out here. Who was this guy? That was a running back. Okay, so under pressure, he panics. The ball just comes out. Now, watch this play here. Wait, where'd it go? I couldn't catch it. Do it. Do the exorcism. Oh my word. Let's go back here to what causes this bad play. Dark Tigers come out. It looks like we're getting a blitz here off of one of these edges. It must be 41. Overloads the one side of the field here, which they actually have a running back to come up and step and pick that up. But because these players aren't locked in place 500 years in their block animations like they are in the current rosters, they're able to get off blocks and actually get to the quarterback and cause some bad plays to happen. So looks like they're just going to kneel this one out. This game could have been an early championship preview here between these two teams. I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. But the bad quarterback got into the red zone after a couple of just insanely good throws and basically ends the game for his team. Him come through in the clutch and basically puts the game away there. Big deep post route. The bastard child of Tom Brady and Joe Montana hits him down the seam. And they're just gonna run this out. Looks like I think they're not even gonna need to run another play. But then again, I could be wrong. I don't know what the AI is gonna do. They're probably gonna come out in a punt formation, and I mean they don't have to kick it, but they might. Wouldn't that be insane if they punt the ball here and they return it for a touchdown? Don't kick it. Don't do it. And they did it. What the fuck is going on, AI? Okay, lucky for them. I don't know what prompted them to punt that ball, but...
The final score is home team 14, away team 21.
Blizzards go in there and pull out a tough win against the Tigers defense that really kept them alive in that game till the very end. They only gave up 246. I don't know. I still think this offense is probably the best one I built. Their offensive line's not that great, but they got the job done. Let's see, we'll sim the rest of week 1 here. Or week 2, sorry. So the Blizzard beat the Dark Tigers. The Killers 2-0 beat the Mammoths. Doomlords bounce back, and the Berserks beat the Jobcats. Let's advance. Okay, so we're looking at going into week 3 here. Our two teams that are leading the way are the Killers and the Berserks. Both Tigers teams are 1-1. The Blizzards come back. The Doomlords are 1-1. The Mammoths, who are probably the best rounded team I've built, 0-2, and then the Jobcats, 0-2. So we'll see what's this week look like here for the games. Some Berserks Tigers, Killers Gold Tigers. The Blizzards get to play the old Jobcats, and the Mammoths Doomlords. That might be the game to go to here. That or the Killers. I like sticking with those Killers just to see what they do. Alright guys, that's it for me. Come back. I will keep simulating through as long as my franchise doesn't break. And that's it for me. I'll be back, I don't know, some point this week. We'll see.